Welcome back, everybody, to the daily show where we discuss and do technical analysis on big mega cap stocks. So, before we get started, please smash that like button, and 100 plus likes on this video would be greatly appreciated, guys. And if you're new here, consider subscribing. Now, if you want to support the channel and get my daily trade ideas, my swing trade ideas, live trading, and all kinds of setups, definitely check out their link down below in the description for Patreon. And now let's get right into it, guys. On Apple stock, it's up 1.91%, so massive hammer candle here on Apple stock off of the support 230, and now it's over 237 and also 240. So going into Monday's session, 240 your key line in the sand right here on Apple. Underneath that level, 237, and then we are back down to 230. If this hammer candle is the real candle and we're going to see continuation to the upside going into next week, I would like to see Apple over $243. If that happens, the next stop 247 and then 250. On Amazon stock, it's up 1.70%. So Amazon did get that bounce. We did not take out this low down here. Got the bounce off of this 206 level, right off of this Bollinger Band, and now it's back over 212. So Amazon, if this thing wants to move higher, it needs to stay over 212, and then you're going to see a move up to 216, and then possibly up to 221 to 227. To the downside, 212 gives up. The next big level of support, 206, and then you'll see Amazon continuing to the downside all the way down to flat 200. And here's my X account, and if you guys are on there, definitely give me a follow. And there is no subscription, nothing here on X. It's totally free, and you can always get in touch with me if you want right here on X. And here's a fantastic play from last week on Xpong. You can see we short it on the 26th. It was trading at 22. We got $20 puts, and right after opening on Friday, we closed it. It went in the money, so it was a nice 35% profit on that play. Now, all these trade ideas, and especially if you guys are serious about trading, definitely check out their link down below in the description for Patreon. With that being said, let me share the other one here, which is even better. That is actually on triple Qs. You can see this thing did not get down to these levels right here. Before that, we took calls 500 2DT on triple Qs, and then this thing went over the money. It was a fantastic play. This one was over 170% on this play. Some people got 500% if they were holding until later on before closing, because we got a massive jump before closing on Qs and pretty much on overall stock market. So definitely check it out, guys. The link will be down below in the description. On Google stock, it's up 1.18%. So Google came all the way down to 168, but end of the day, it's holding 170, that key level, as a support. Now, we all know that 170 breaks, there is a gap at 165, and Google can come down here rapidly. Now, also, with that being said, it's been selling off for multiple days. If this thing gets that rally going into next week and holds 170, we might see a move up to 176 right here. And you can see this downtrend will end if we can get over 176. This thing holds 176. We might see a move up to 181 to close this gap, and from there, even 184 possible right here on Google. On Microsoft, it's up 1.14%. So just like Apple, we got a hammer candle, green hammer candle off of the support. And look at this, how close we got there, guys. 384, low for the day, 386. The dip was bought up, and that is a $10 move from the dip right here. And this thing got back up and now trading over 390 and retracing, of course, lower Bollinger Band, trading over 396. So going into Monday's session, 390 will be your key line in the sand, and then 384. If this thing holds over 390, there is a chance where this thing can go up to 400, and that should take Microsoft over this blue line 5-day moving average. It's gonna look more bullish. So if this thing is actually putting in a bottom here with this hammer candle, definitely over 400, it can run up to 406, 408, and then 413. On Meta, it's up 1.51%. So Meta came all the way down to, you can see, you can call this a double bottom in the shorter time frame. You can see double hammer right here on Meta. After this hammer, it was a red body hammer. We came down and now we got a green body hammer candle off of the support. Did not exactly touch 638, but it was right there, just like it was right here. So now it's over. You can see 664. As long as 664 can hold, Meta can run up to 682 and possibly up to 700 or 698.72 20-day moving average. If this thing cannot hold 664, the next big support will be right down here. That's going to be 650, and then critical support will be down here. Previous all-time highs 638 on Meta. On Tesla stock, it's up near 4%. And from where? Well, this thing did hold that 280 level, which is a big level here. Otherwise, it was almost closing some of that gap to the downside, you can see. So now here on Tesla, guys, going into Monday, usually Tesla likes to run Monday. If that's the case, if this thing wants to run, it's oversold on shorter time frame. And I see like, people are still shorting this thing. And this is the concern when you try to short when things are oversold, trading way below lower Bollinger Band, and you're going and buying puts. This is what Tesla can do. 273 high for the day. Look at this, 293, huge move. If you're shorting into this hole, you're already underwater big time, and who knows if you can even get out. So here on Tesla, if it's going up overbought, yes, you can short it, if you buy time. But shorting here is like no man's land, and you're just shorting into that hole. It's gonna make you pay. It's a really bad spot to be in. Now, 280 key line in the sand for Monday's session. As long as this thing can stay over 280, watch out for that breakout over 300. If that happens, it can push easily up to 330s. On AMD, it's up only 0.35%. So, this thing here, there is no hammer candle, nothing. You can see barely up on the day. So, is AMD telling us something where this thing can go down even more? Because it's not even over 100, barely retracing lower Bollinger Band. So, AMD, what I would like to see, same thing like we saw on Apple, Microsoft, at least a hammer type candle or something like, a big bullish engulfing candle with a lot of volume, like here. Even though that move was fake, at least we did put in a short-term bottom, right? So we're not seeing that on AMD. If this thing only gets over 100, we might see a push up to 103 and then 110. Stays under 100, then it can go down to $93. On Netflix, it's up 1.82%. So this thing got up to 980. And you can see we did close just over, slightly over 980, holding on to this blue line 5-day moving average. Now you can see also the trend is changing. There is no gap here on top, but I think very shortly you'll see Netflix getting a rejection possibly from 1000, maybe from this 20-day 1007, and continuing down to this gap 916 at some point. It might take a little bit of time, but it's going to get there. Now if this thing breaks all that, gets over 1000, stays over these moving averages, which is at 107, 1007 to 1011, then you'll see continuation up to 1029 and possibly a retest of previous all-time highs. If that's not happening, if this is just a dead cat bounce, then watch out. This thing comes back and breaks under this support 980 5-day moving average. You'll come back down to 955, 936, your key line in the sand, previous all-time highs, a lot of trading here, and then we got that breakout with earnings, right? So if this thing comes down here, that's going to be key level to watch 936. But below that, we have a gap to fill at 916 on Netflix. On Nvidia stock, it's up almost 4%. Now, if you look at the market and you think like why the market was going down actually on Friday and did not really recover, even though some of the other names like financial names, they were actually up. Well, Nvidia did not help when market opened. This thing came down. You can see right here. It came down to 116. And then finally, at the end of the day, it did get a bounce, like midday up to I think 122, but it did not hold, came down. It was chopping back and forth. And then, I mean, we can look at something like 15-minute chart here, and it's going to show you a different, picture. And you can see it was just going back and forth right here, and then came back again. This was the move I was telling you guys. It came back in again. It was holding, so that was a low and a higher low, and then we broke out to, this new high on 15-minute time frame. And this thing definitely, I mean, did really well, giving the, fact that, how this thing sold off with this massive bearish engulfing candle. Now, what we can learn from it, guys, like And I talked about it in my video, the last one that I made, that we can come back halfway, off of this candle, and we almost got there. That 126, maybe even 130, we can push and come up a little bit more. And if this thing gets a rejection anywhere here, 126, 130, and takes out this low, you can see how big support that 118 range on Nvidia. Bounced here, bounced here, bounced here. So many bounces right here, bounce right here, and then went back up. So Nvidia, if you're a bear on Nvidia, you want to see Nvidia, and we did take more profit on Friday on my position, and I only left 10 runners, and these are longer term puts on Nvidia, guys. Bought at 135 at opening right after earnings, right here, and now holding. Now, if this thing comes back up, I only got 10 left. I can get out here at break even or still hold on, maybe build a bigger position on it. But when you get a big move down just after buying a position, it's always better to take some profit off of the table. And we pretty much took 90% off the table. I only left like 10 runners. So Nvidia, that position is still green. And you can see we came halfway off of that, off that bearish engulfing candle, and now it's under right here 126. So going into Monday's session, 126 breaks, we might see a push up to 130, maybe even 135, 136. But if this thing stays under 126, there is a huge chance it'll come back and retest 118. And if that breaks, it's going to be all over for the bulls. This thing will dump down to 107, and it can go much, much lower. We do have a target here if this thing continues down this $68 gap at some point. So thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll definitely keep you guys updated. And please comment and share and like the video. That really helps out, and I'll see you guys tomorrow night.